Hi, great people. Welcome to Value Added Parenting. My name is Olabisi, and this is a platform where intentional parents are deliberate about raising a happy and fulfilled child. If you're new here, you're welcome. You are in the right place. Thank you for coming, and we really appreciate you. Kindly press the subscribe button and your notification button so as to be notified anytime I drop a new video. And if you're returning, I got you. Thank you for coming back. I really want to appreciate everyone who has subscribed to my YouTube channels, those that have been sharing my videos, comments. Thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate you. In this video, I'm going to be talking about discipline that works. Discipline is different from punishment. Discipline teaches children to learn from their mistakes, while punishment makes children suffer for their mistakes. These are two different things. One teaches children to learn a new way of not doing whatever they have been doing, maybe a misbehavior, while punishment makes them suffer for their mistakes. Because when you beat a child, definitely the child will be in pain, okay? And we know what that means. When you teach a child, the child will not be in pain, rather the child will learn. When our children make mistake, what do? How do we handle that? We blame them, we yell at them. Am I right? Hope I'm right. Please, if I'm right, drop it at the comment section. We abuse them in a way, yes, and sometimes we beat them. Am I right? Yes, now, yes. And sometimes some people, they curse their child for a misbehavior. That's the way we are taught or raised, and some of us still continue in that lane up to now. I know, because of the way we were raised and our belief, we believe how to correct a child is by beating, is by yelling, is by blaming the child or abuse the child or curse the child. That's why some children run away from home. But how should you correct your child? This I use in my house, and there has been peace. I've been parenting with calm. If only you can use it. Connect to correct. How do you correct your child? Connect to correct. You are not connecting with a child that you are beating and with a child that you think you are correcting. When you correct a child with beating, you are not connecting to correct. How do you connect to correct? It's by using teaching tools to correct the child. For instance, your toddler pour water on the floor. I know, as an African parent, the first thing is you spank the child, you beat the child. So does that mean the child is not going to do that another time? Okay, why not look at this scenario? That's one is like, okay, the discipline that we are used to. But look at this way, connect to correct. A child pour water, and all you do is you take to the child to the place to get a mop. You allow the child to mop it. And when the child is done, you explain to the child how to carry water. It depends on the scenario. It depends on what makes the child to pour the water. It depends on the process. Then you take the child through on a better way to carry the water, or you are not meant to play with water in this play. Then take the child to the proper place to play with water. That is connect, because in that process, no yelling. The child has nothing to suffer for. The child wasn't in any pain. All right. And at the same time, the child gets the message you are trying to pass, even in a better way. Because if you are not there and the child poured water on the floor, the child will go and take the mop and mop it, because he already knows the right things to do. I'm not saying in case you have tried it's not working, you keep trying it. It's just as you will go to school. When a teacher, a subject, there are different curriculums, you know, there are lesson plan, There are a lot of, you have government. You do government from SS1 to SS3. It's not that you just finish the whole thing in SS1. And you don't finish the whole thing in one class. They break it down and teach it bit by bit. So don't expect that because you teach something once, you expect your child to just grab it. You keep teaching it. And acknowledge that mistakes are normal. Even adults will make mistakes. There was a time my son made a mistake. And I was like, it's normal now. Adults make mistake. In fact, I said, Mommy make mistake. Daddy make mistake. Even our pastor in church make mistake. It was that one that, that one caught him. You were like, how pastor make mistake? I said, now, pastor is human being. Everybody makes mistake. That's really give him assurance like, okay, so it's not that I am abnormal that I make mistake. And I explain that you make mistakes so that you can learn from it. And I explain further how mistakes make us learn. It was with me while I was trying to adjust one of my dress for choir uniform. And while I was sewing it with needle, I made a mistake. I spent like 2 hours doing that particular dress. And while I was doing it, I should have cross-checked if I was right or if I need to do something. But I believe I was right. So I made a mistake. I did it for like 2 hours, and after the oath, I discovered that it was upside down. It was so hot. So I explained to him. So I was about to fix one of his school shorts. Immediately I started, I cross-checked if I was right. And I explained to him, do you know why I checked? Thank God he was with me. He said no. I said because I don't want to repeat the same mistake I made yesterday by not checking what I was sewing, and I spent like 2 hours. Oh, he was like, wow. I said, that is how we learn from mistakes. When you make a mistake, if you don't want to repeat the mistake again, try to learn from it. Look at what you didn't do right that make you make that mistake. Mistakes are normal. When you know that mistakes are normal, then you will at least give your child a chance in a way. Not that everything you just spank. And because your neighbor usually beats their children for a misbehavior, doesn't mean you should beat your child for the same misbehavior. It depends on your values. It depends on what you stand for in your home. The next one is use the mistake as a teachable moment. If you have it at the back of your mind that whenever my child make a mistake, I want to teach the child the right thing, you will not raise your hand. You wouldn't need to yell. You will not need to shout or abuse your child. I just taught that child how to make decision, how to make choice, and how our decision can either make us or mar us. Do you get that scenario? So see every mistake as a teachable moment. A few days ago, my son was eating bread and mods in a cup. And because most of the time, we usually say when you are eating, sit down properly, all right? So yes, that day, he was still eating. And it was, around one ballet, meaning they don't sit still. He was still moving. And while he was moving, he poured the mods. Normally, initial me before now, I was like, yell at him, like, why do you pour that thing? Didn't you see? Are you not supposed to sit down when you are eating? I was so calm. I didn't even raise the voice. I didn't say anything. I said, wow. I stood up. While I stood up, he started analyzing by himself that I just want to stand up and sit properly. I was trying to and he was like, Mommy, do we have another mod? I said yes, but that one is for me. And you are not ready to take it? I said yes. Okay. And there is no other mod for me to finish this bread. I said yes, no other mods. No shouting, nothing. He finished his bread. See, that's a teaching moment. I don't need to shout. In fact, the one that is supposed to teach self was already teaching himself. So there is no point. So we can parent with calm. We can discipline with teaching without yelling, without spanking. 3 things that I would like you to take away from this video. Number 1 is that anything that reduces your child's self-esteem is an abuse. anything that reduces your child's self-esteem is an abuse. Your child will face an abuse in school, because sometimes, it's not all the day that goes well. An abuse does not necessarily mean sexual abuse. They could bully your child at school. Maybe your head is big. It could be your legs are not straight. It could be you are not fine. Things like that. It gets into every child. Okay, and when your child comes back to the house, it should feel loved. It should feel like this is my saving home. Like I belong here. That feeling should be there. Not that when your child come at the door, you're already saying, "Why are you so dirty like this? Really? Why is the sauce so dirty?" At least let's welcome the child. Let the child feel loved in his house, in our house first. Please. Because don't let anything that we do to them, if you yell, all those beating, they reduce their self-esteem. Another lesson I would like to take away from this video is that wrong discipline will make your child rebel. Yes, it will make your child rebel if you don't use the right tools. You might think you are still living with your child, but in their mind, they are far from you. When you are talking to them, you will see them, they will stand in front of you physically, but in their mind, they are not connecting with you. That's what happens most of the time. If you check my previous video with the guest that I invited, she talked about it because her mother usually yell at her. That disconnected her. She said, see, she's an adult, she's not a parent. That anytime her mother talked to her or was talking to her, in her mind, she's like, when you are done, let me just leave here. And that is what is going on in the mind of most of our children that we yell at. They don't want to, and they know that if they talk, you will beat them, so they would rather keep it. And that is why some of our children, they prefer to talk to their friend. A child will leave his or her parent and tell her friends that, do you know I kissed yesterday? And her friend will like, oh, how does it feel? How did you feel? How does that make you? He will prefer to talk to his or her friend because he knows my friend will not chastise me, will not beat me, will not yell at me. And did you know that if you actually put yourself in that level, your child will tell you anything, and you will be able to even put them through, give them the right knowledge on how to go about things. I know a parent, if they tell you they kiss, you will beat them, and whenever they have sex, they will not tell you. And that one is even bigger than kiss. Instead of you to talk to your child and let the child know the appropriate things to do, that it's not, it's not kissing yet. It's not the time to kiss yet. See the things that you still need to achieve before that. Or do you think it's time for you to jump all this and do that? Because if you do that, there's going to be consequence for all this that you left behind. So wrong discipline will make your child rebel. They will run away. They will rather confide in someone else. Okay? And the third lesson I would like you to take away from this video is that a child you have not connected with, you cannot correct. A child you have not connected with, you cannot correct. So connect with your child. There is a book on that written by Wendy Olabisi. She is my coach. You can get that book, or if you need it, you can send message under this video. You can comment. I can help you get it or tell you how to get it. The book is titled Connect to Correct. You cannot correct a child without connecting with them. They all have their mumu button. They have this. You know how you get your spouse mumu button? They get it. It's not that because, God. And it depends on who you are raising. If you are raising a king, imagine the president of America. Put his child in your care, that please let me take care of this child for 1 week, will you beat that child? And if your answer is no, why? Because the child belongs to a president. So you want to treat the child as such, as president's son or daughter. What about your child? How did you see your child? In our house, we are kings and royalty. So we talk to ourselves as kings and royalty that we are. Did you shout in the palace to a prince, to a princess, to king? Do you? Every time you want to correct in the palace, do you take a cane and beat it to reduce that child's, their courage, their self-esteem? Because in the moment you tell a child that he's a king, there is a way they carry themselves. When you are now beating a king, what type of king are you beating? Are you yelling at? Do you understand? So you need to define your family again and know who you are raising. Who am I raising? When you answer that, then you will know the type of method to use. Most of the time, we are not patient enough. That's why we beat our children. Children will always behave as children that they are. You want, let me use this example. You go to work and you have to drop your children at the same time. I know that moment or that morning, some things can trigger your anger, like they are wasting time, they are not getting ready on time, and that might lead you to get to your office late. What you can do is, maybe you adjust the time you guys wake up. Maybe you set an alarm for them. Maybe you set a routine for them, so everybody knows what to do. I have 2 sons, they are even little. So when we wake up, I make sure I bathe for the elder brother first. When I bathe for him, I cream his body. Then I already put what he's going to wear on the bed. He start dressing up by himself while I face his younger brother. That helps us to manage our time well. So if there's something you need to put in place, but you do not put anything in place, you are expecting a miracle to happen. You have to put some things in place if you know you want to go on this journey of this discipline. That means teaching and training. You have to put some things in place. In conclusion, when you engage the discipline that works as a parent, you enjoy calmness and you put an end to IBP, because that's what shouting does. And beating, it's even taking some of your own strength. It's sapping your energy. The outcome of the discipline that works is geared towards your relationship with your child. What are we trying to prove from this discipline that works, that don't beat our children, is to develop relationship with your child. And you start that from childhood, from toddler, from baby, from infant. Because we have a lot of teenagers today that don't even talk to their parents anymore. You ask them, they'll just snap like, no, yes, I'm fine. But when they see the person they can gist with, like my previous video that I brought a guest, we talked about so many things. She asked the teenagers, when you get urge, what do? And they started talking. One even said that during service, he still rised, and he was just beating the thing that, calm down, you cannot be rising here, you are in the wrong place. They told their teenage coach, can your child come home and tell you that, and you will not call the blood of Jesus on your child? Do you even have a relationship with your child that will make your child confide in you to tell you everything they are going through? There is a place of God. So we still need to pray, and we still need to do the right thing. This relationship is the bedrock of your success. When you have a relationship with your children, what else? What else? And there is always a strategy. Find it. There is always a strategy to anything you want to do. You want to do it right. There is always a strategy. Find it and keep learning. If you find this video useful and helpful, kindly drop your comments under this video. You can ask questions, we will reply, we will answer you, and help us share this with your loved ones. In fact, I appreciate a lot of you that have been watching my video, that have been sharing my video, that have been dropping comments. Please keep doing the good work, keep liking, keep sharing, and keep watching till I come your way again. Bye for now.